What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. And in today's video, we are going through our preview / prediction for the Detroit Lions Week 9 matchup against the Minnesota Vikings. This, to me, is a must-win game for the Lions. It's a prove-it game for a lot of players and coaches. So let's get it started.
You know, I got to shout out DoseOfDion, man, because it was actually the first time I went live on YouTube. And, you know, guys don't know, DoseOfDion, he put out a lot of good content for the Detroit Lions.
Welcome everybody to another video. Glad you guys are here. And yes, I am excited to dive into our preview / prediction because this one is actually a day later. So that means that tomorrow is game day. Oh, snap. Yeah, it's Saturday. We had to push everything back for the week. But we're doing our preview / prediction now. I guess it's better late than never. Maybe it changed up our luck because we lost last week. And I thought it'd change it even more. Maybe too many variables here. But I changed up the jerseys a little bit. You know, just something. Just something to see what happens. I don't know. We'll maybe just keep mixing this thing up just for the fun of it. But I want to change some things up. Hopefully we get some better luck this weekend. But yeah, man, I'm honestly, I'm going to be honest here. I'm a little bit nervous for this game. I'm a little bit concerned with this Vikings team. The reason I'm concerned is pretty simple. They're 2-5. That 2-5 record scares me. The reason that 2-5 record scares me is because I want to make sure that we give the Vikings the attention and the respect that they deserve heading into this game. And we don't come in expecting that this is going to be an easier game because they're 2-5. That can't be the mindset, because I'm telling you, this team can compete with really good teams. They can keep it close. The record could be much better. It's a very simple formula for the Minnesota Vikings. Don't turn the ball over and we win football games. It's that simple. I mean, that is their formula. And even the games they've lost, to Seattle by 1, Titans by 1, they keep it super competitive, and they could have won many of those games. And the games that got out of hand on the scoreboard were simply due to turnovers. If they don't turn the ball over, they're tough to beat. And the reason I say that is because here's a stat that we brought up yesterday. When Kirk Cousins has not thrown a pick in a game, they are 2-0 this season. Yes, definitely concerns me a little bit heading into this matchup. I'm just hoping the Lions, you know, understand the importance of this matchup. And I think they will, because it is a divisional game. But this is huge. I mean, not only for that aspect of things, but for the Lions playoff hopes. You know, getting to 4-4 is huge instead of being 3-5. You can't be 3-5. 4-4 though, with our next couple of games coming up, all of a sudden you can see all of a sudden you get yourself right back in position to make a playoff push. But you got to win this game. You got to win this game. You got to find a way to beat this divisional opponent, because if you lose, think about it. Now you're last in the division too. What? You can't be last in the division, guys. Got to deal with that for too long. Let's stay out of the gutter. All right, let's get this win. The Bears seem to be falling apart. This is an opportunity, but we got to find a way to take it. We got to find a way to jump on this opportunity, and that comes by beating the Vikings. So a little bit concerned for me. We're going to go through the advantages. You guys know the drill, and then at the end, I'll make my score prediction on the board, and I want to hear yours in the comment section below. Make sure you guys comment your score prediction under where I pin the top comment, score predictions. That way, whoever wins, I'll give them a shout out next video, as long as I remember. So that's what we'll do. All right, now let's get into these advantages. Okay, let's start off with the Lions offense. As you know what, let's mix it up. We should mix it up. Let's start off with the Vikings offense against the Lions defense. So let's start off with this Vikings rushing attack against the Lions run defense. I think that's where their whole defense starts, and that's where the success comes from. And man, is this a battle. This is a battle. To me, this is the matchup to watch. This is the matchup of the game, right? The Lions run D against that Vikings rushing offense. Because if you watched last game against the Packers, they relied on Dalvin Cook. They played through Dalvin Cook. Kirk Cousins had 14 passing attempts, only 11 completed, and they beat the Green Bay Packers on the road. What? They relied on Dalvin Cook. And now that Dalvin Cook is back again and healthy, as a team so far this season, they're averaging 5 yards per carry. And he's missed some time. They're still averaging 5 yards per carry. Dalvin Cook on his own, 5.3 yards per carry. But this Lions run defense that came into the league this season, awful. I mean, they were just terrible. They were gashed in the first couple weeks, and it's like, wow, we can't stop the run. All of a sudden, since that Cardinals game, they've improved. And in the last 3 games, they've allowed 2.8 yards per carry combined. 2.8. That would be the best in the NFL by far. The Lions have been much better at shutting down the run game, and the Vikings, they play through the run game. And that's how they limit turnovers. And I'm expecting to see a very similar path for the Minnesota Vikings in this game, is to try to limit turnovers and beat the Lions with Dalvin Cook, through Dalvin Cook. They have Madison, who does his thing. I think he's averaging like 4.5 yards per carry as the backup. They can run the football. I mean, this team can run the ball. They put in their fullback, and it's just like, okay, here we go. So the Lions need to find a way to shut down this run game, or at least slow it down to help out their pass defense, because the Vikings will run through this. If you can stop the run game, all of a sudden you make them one-dimensional, and that's where you force turnovers, and now all of a sudden the Lions have a good chance to win this game. But it's all about turnovers. I mean, it really is. It's all about forcing turnovers, and I think you have to stop the run game first. Unfortunately, the Lions will be entering this game without Trey Flowers, but they will get Danny Schoen. He is healthy. I mean, they've had him, but he's healthy. He was a guy to keep an eye out for. And also, enter Everson Griffen, okay? Everson Griffen enters the room. Now, he's known as the pass rusher, the pass rushing specialist, but don't be surprised if on some early downs the Lions put out Everson Griffen just to see what he can do. I mean, we heard him during the week. You know he's fired up and he wants to play. I'm sure Matt Patricia's going to say, you know what? If you're bringing that kind of energy and you're playing well, we're going to throw you out there a lot more than maybe we've anticipated, especially without Trey Flowers. Let this man run wild. And if he's running wild, it's going to be a completely different game. I just need to, though, find a way to stop this run game. I mean, that's really what it does come down to. But I think a lot of it's also the second and third level tackling. If you go back and watch the Packers game, they missed so many tackles. They missed 11 tackles in that game. The second and third level could not bring down whoever had the ball, whether it was a receiver or a running back. They couldn't bring down the ball carrier. Over 100 yards after contact for Dalvin Cook in that game. That's where the Lions need to have success. And I like the Lions matchup here because I do like their secondary tackling. Now, they will also be entering without Tracy Walker. That's a tough loss. But Jaron Kearse can tackle. Will Harris, he can tackle. Deron Harmon, he can sort of tackle. And the secondary, they can tackle, right? They have cornerbacks that can bring down running backs. They have all of that. So I think the Lions match up well to stop the run. But the Vikings do it at a very high level. This may be the best rushing team we've faced so far. I think you can make a case for that. So, yeah, the Lions are going to have their hands full. This is the matchup to watch. To me, the advantage is equal. I can't give an advantage out here. I just can't. If you guys are new, advantages go 0.5, 1, 1.5, and 2. But there's also an equal. We're giving the advantage to nobody here. I just think this is it. I mean, this could decide the game. Who does better in this particular group? Okay, who does better here? Who does better, Lions run defense or the Vikings rushing offense? I think if you slow it down, you're going to have a really good chance to play well defensively. So that moves us to our next point, which is the Lions pass defense against the Vikings passing offense. Now, the Lions passing defense so far this year has been solid, and it does look like they're going to be returning one of their veterans, and that's Desmond Trufant. Now, who knows how many snaps he will get? I mean, that's kind of the big question right now. Again, I'm leaning towards the side of the veteran getting more snaps than a guy like Jeffrey Okudah. Amani has been playing lights out at cornerback. I mean, he's been really good, so no problem with him starting. But they're going against two weapons in Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen, and Jefferson has been a monster receiver so far this year. I mean, is he an offensive rookie of the year candidate? I mean, is he? Because I think he legitimately could be. He's got over 550 yards receiving already this season, more than Adam Thielen. He's emerged as that top guy. He's made some giant plays for the Minnesota Vikings. I mean, I think Michael Jordan even said something about it. Like, this guy's getting recognition because he's balling out. He's absolutely balling out at the receiver group. He's on pace for 1,100 receiving yards, basically, maybe even more than that. So that matchup between the Lions secondary and those two top receivers is going to be tough, knowing that you have two young corners. But Desmond Trufant's returning. So will Trufant get the reps or Jeffrey Okudah? I know what people are saying about Okudah, but in the last few weeks, he's been much, much better. He's definitely improved. And, you know, the passer rating doesn't lie. The stats don't lie. And the film doesn't lie. He's been much better. But do you rock with the veteran or do you rock with the young guy? Maybe Desmond Trufant's the way you go against Adam Thielen because he's the veteran and Amani's out there. Lions also have Justin Coleman, who will be playing his second week. That's big. And we talked about it, no Tracy Walker, so they'll be missing that safety in action. But the Vikings, man, they like to take their shots to Dalvin Cook, so it's all about, once again, tackling and those linebackers. Well, this is a competitive game. Now, here's the difference. Again, we talked about it. This is the difference in the Vikings games so far this year. I mean, this has made their season. This has made the 2-5 record. Turnovers. Kirk Cousins, 12 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. If he throws interceptions, all of a sudden you have a chance. I believe he's been sacked 15 times, so maybe the Lions get a few of those. If he throws interceptions, the Lions have a much better chance. If he doesn't, stats will tell you they won't lose this game. Now, it's only been 2 games, but stats will tell you they don't lose when they don't throw picks. Lions defense fast to find a way to get some turnovers here. Look out for Deron Harmon, the vets in the back end. Maybe Trufant gets it going with the pick. Maybe Amani gets his first pick. I mean, he's played so well in coverage. Maybe he gets his first. And maybe that'll come from Everson Griffen and those guys getting some pressure. But again, that comes from stopping the run first. So that's why that's the matchup to watch. Man, this is a heck of a matchup on paper. I mean, this is what you want. I mean, this is what you want in a football game. The advantage here goes to the Vikings 0.5. I have to give the advantage here to the Vikings. They have the veteran quarterback. I know Kirk Cousins has made some mistakes, but I have to give the advantage to the Vikings here. I just can't go all the way with the Lions coverage yet. We'll see how the run game plays, and that'll dictate it. So Lions could have the advantage if the run defense is up to par. I give the advantage 0.5 to the Vikings. Not by a lot, just a little bit. Move on to the Lions offensive side. Let's start off with that Lions passing attack versus this Vikings passing defense. So the question right now is, will Matthew Stafford play? I mean, that's the question, and it's a very big question. It doesn't matter if he practices or not. Will Matthew Stafford play? As of now, he's still on pace to play. We'll find out soon. But if Stafford plays, that's a huge difference. Now, if he doesn't, obviously Lions still have a chance to chase Daniel, and you still have a veteran backup that's beaten the Vikings before. But Stafford playing is a huge difference. But to me, this game is pretty simple. It's prove it, Darrell Bevell. I want Darrell Bevell to prove that this offense can put up some dang points. And I don't want the Kenny Golladay excuse. I know he's great. I know he is. But I feel like we've relied on winning those one-on-one matchups that are heavily contested too much. I want to see guys schemed open. I want to see players open. I know we're missing Jamal. So Darrell Bevell, if you can go out there and put up a good offensive performance, I don't need 30. I need an offense that's consistently pushing the ball downfield, getting us in field goal situations, not having multiple 3-and-outs in a row. I don't want a quarter where we go scoreless and all of a sudden our defense is put with their backs against the wall. We can't have that. I want Darrell Bevell to prove that he can put up points with missing Jamal Agnew and Kenny Golladay against a Vikings defense that statistically doesn't look great, but they are stingy with Mike Zimmer. We'll get to that. But seriously, man, you're playing a depleted secondary. I know you don't have Kenny. I know you don't have Jamal, but they're missing 3, potentially 4 cornerbacks in this game. You're going against Jeff Gladney, a rookie, and potentially Chris Jones, who we had, okay? And we released that guy. So I think the Lions passing attack needs to prove something here. The Vikings are giving up the second best passer rating in the league at 110.5 on the season. They have the cornerback injuries. They don't get a lot of interceptions. I know, look, their coverage is better than what the stats show. They have good man coverage. And for them, it does start with stopping the run once again. That's how they look much better against Aaron Rodgers. But we're indoors here, okay? It's not going to be super windy. We need to see Darrell Bevell prove it. I think this is a game for Darrell Bevell to go out there and say, hey, look, I can coach this offense. We can put up some points. We can make it happen. That's who I want to see have a good game today. Not a player, it's the coaching staff, and that starts with Darrell Bevell, especially if Stafford can go. But that's the question. Can Stafford play? Last game, not only on Darrell Bevell, we had a lot of miscues. Drop passes, slips. We can't have that. You can't do that. You can't slip running from the first down. You can't slip going out on the route. You can't drop a first down. You can't have these miscues. You know, strip fumble because we make a dumb decision to go to the I form. Darrell, prove it, man. And don't make these dumb mistakes. The offense needs to go out there and help Darrell Bevell. And Darrell Bevell needs to help the offense by putting them in positions to be successful. I could rant about this for days, but I don't want to. I got to get on to the next side. I'm going to give the advantage here at 0.5 to the Lions. It really does depend on if Stafford plays. Stafford plays, this could potentially go up to This could potentially go up to 1.5. This could go to advantage 2 if they're in positions to be successful and you let Stafford win the game. Let him win the game. Run the ball. Play out a shotgun. Set up the run through the pass, right? Set up the run through the pass. Use the pass game as an extension of your running game. Let Stafford win this game. Don't put him out there and say, okay, yeah, we're going to throw the ball every time. Not that. But play through Stafford, not through Peterson, especially if it's not working. But I give the advantage 0.5. It could go up. When we move on to the other side of things, and that's, again, assuming Stafford plays. If he doesn't, it's going to be a different situation. That's the Lions' rushing attack against this Vikings run defense. This is the battle in the trenches, okay? This is a Vikings run defense that has been pretty good. They're above average, 4.2 yards per carry allowed. But I'm keeping my eye here on the man who was with Minnesota for much of his career, and that's Adrian Peterson. I think he's the guy to watch in the backfield. I love the matchup in terms of power versus speed. This linebacker group for the Vikings is fast. Kendricks has 78 total tackles already on the season. The guy is absolutely killing it. And that's the group to watch. I don't love their front four. You know, I don't love their front four. I think it's a little bit questionable with some of the guys they have there. But that linebacker group is good. Their cornerback group can tackle. Now, they have a lot of injuries, so we'll see how that stands up. Their secondary, you know, with Harrison Smith, who's playing in the box, in and out. Anthony Harris, who can fly around the field. Again, this is a big matchup here, and the Lions can't be predictable. We had a drive last week where we had 3 straight first downs out of the gun. 2 of those plays, and all of a sudden we hit him with that I form and hit it up the middle, no run, nothing happens. All of a sudden we turn the ball over next play, and the game changes. A game that we were starting to build some momentum, boom, that happens, game over. We can't have that. Keep it unpredictable, right? And I think Adrian Peterson is the running back to watch in this game. It could be Swift. Definitely could be. He has the talent. And I'm looking for Peterson here. I love his vision. I love running between the tackles. I don't try to force things to the outside. If you want a full breakdown, I have the offense game plan video. I have the defense game plan video, so I'm not going to go into all of that. If you guys want what I think about what they should do strategically, there's videos for that. This is simply advantages. I'm going to give the Vikings the 0.5 advantage here. They've had a good run defense consistently throughout the year. I have to give them the advantage, but I think Adrian Peterson could have a big day. Vikings 0.5. So on special teams, the Lions get the advantage, okay? When it comes to DVOA as a whole, the Lions have a better special teams unit. Dan Bailey so far this year is 6 for 8 on field goals. Matt Prater's been a little consistent. Hopefully, we can get him a little bit closer. Somebody was right on saying that. Yes, he does need to get some closer field goal attempts, no doubt. The Vikings so far this season don't have a lot of field goals. They've allowed 19 field goals made and field goal attempts, which, if you go by teams that have played in 7 games, is the second most in the league. They give up field goals. But the reason that is because they have a stingy third down and red zone defense. They're one of the best in the league on third down and on the red zone. Mike Zimmer is a good coach. He can style up some things defensively. He can confuse an offense. So I don't see a lot of touchdowns in this game. I give the advantage a 0.5 to the Lions. I think it's a very evenly contested matchup, and I think this is going to be a battle that the Lions need to find a way to pull out to have their chances for Matt Patricia, for Darrell Bevel, for the players. Everybody in this organization needs to find a way to win this football game to get to 500 midway through the season, and I think this is going to be one of those old-fashioned, this is one of those games that we've seen Thanksgiving versus Vikings where it's like field goal, not much scoring. All of a sudden, one big play turns the tide. Remember when Darius Slay had that big pick, put us in field goal range? It could be like that. That big pick could change the game. We might have to have one of those today. It might be a strip sack by Everson, something crazy. I'm going to go with this prediction. I have the Vikings putting up 16 points in this game. Okay, I know the Vikings are giving up 30 points a game. They won't give that up versus the Lions. I don't have that much confidence right now in the Lions offense, and especially in this divisional matchup. I'm going with the score of 19-16. I think the Vikings might turn it over once, and that'll be the difference maker. I think we see a lot of field goals. I think Matt Prater may seal it with a 19-16 win, and I think the Lions get back to 500. They need it. I'm nervous. Bevel, prove me wrong, please. I want the Lions to go win this football game. It's really big as Matthew Stafford plays. I mean, that changes the prediction. I still would take the Lions probably in a very slim game, but I think that's a realistic score. Stafford or no Stafford, I got 19-16 Lions pull out the win. They need to do it. Let me know your score predictions down below. I'll hopefully shout out the winner as long as I don't forget. Thank you, Pride, for watching. Come on, Lions. Let's get this thing done. And I'm out. I'll see you here live tomorrow, Sunday. I'm sorry, I forgot to say it. Sunday, we'll be live here for the game. So make sure you guys check it out, 1 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah, it's going to be on CBS. I'm out.